The following video contains spoilers for Shallow Grave, Gregorys Girl, and Belfast. Funnily enough, all of these movies are all British. More specifically, they're mostly Scottish, with the exception of Belfast, which is quite funny. But sadly, I didn't include the best movie of all time that's in Scotland, Braveheart, and it's very historically accurate. So me and my parents watched Shallow Grave. I watched it for the first time, my dad had watched it previously, so did my mum, but she forgot. So, it's a really good film. Shallow Grave is a really good film. It's a good thriller. I did not expect the ending, which I'll tell you all about in a moment. But watch the film if you haven't, because I'm going to spoil it all, and I feel like that's really unfortunate that my words are going to spoil the whole movie. So do yourself a favour, go and find it and watch it. It's on the Sky, or you can pirate it. I don't care if you watch it, just watch it. So, Shallow Grave. It is about three people, two guys and a gal. Alex, played by Ewan McGregor, David, played by Christopher Eccleston, and Juliet, played by Kerry Fox. They all live in an apartment in Edinburgh. It's a massive apartment and they're looking for a new roommate. So they get this middle-aged man, this guy in his like 30s or 40s, and he's just there, he's having a good time, and then he dies. But the thing is, he has like a bag full of money, and they don't really know what to do with the money. So they're kind of like, let's dispose of the body. So the Alex had kind of just said, oh, we're gonna do it, we're gonna chop up this body, but the other two are like, what the fuck are you on about? No. But they do it anyway. And poor Christopher Eccleston's character David has to do the body chopping. And let me just say, it scars him to death. He goes on a manic rampage. Two guys are after to get the assassin, and they're like looking for who killed him. And then they go to the apartment, and then David just wallops them. He just kills them. It's great fun. And for the rest of the movie, Christopher Eccleston's David is just in the attic, just staring at the other characters. He's just looking down at them. But it's a really good film. I like the twist ending. I'll spoil that for you. Basically, David tries running away. The other girl, Juliet, gets a ticket to Rio without telling any of the other two. David knows, and he's like, oi, I'm taking the money. And so basically tries to kill Alex, but then gets killed by the girl, and then the girl stabs Alex on the floor, and then she takes the bag that David had, ran away, and then realised that it was just a bag full of newspapers because Alex is a news reporter, and Alex just smiles to himself because the money is underneath the floorboards, and Juliet goes to Rio. And that's Shallow Grave. Great film by Danny Boyle, especially for his first film. It's really good. And I also really enjoyed the camera angles, and especially the performances by the main three, especially Christopher Eccleston, because I like him, I really like him, and his performance of just David just going crazy, just like halfway through the film, it's just mental, because I was rooting for him, and then he becomes a stalker. So that is Shallow Grave for you all. 7 out of 10. Really good. Go and watch it for yourselves. Gregorys Girl is one of the most iconic Scottish comedies ever. It was made in 1981, and I love it. Watch it. It's on Amazon Prime. They remastered it, which was really good. But I do really like it so much. So I'll give you the premise. Gregorys Girl is about a boy, Gregory, who falls in love with this girl who likes football. That wasn't a thing in 1981, but they made it work. And this girl was really bloody good, and she was put in the starting lineup, and she scored, and everyone started kissing her for some reason. It was weird. And so Gregory is like wanted to ask her on a date, and he gets his pals to try and help him, and it's good. It's really good. It's a good film. There's a bit near to the end where he asks her on a date and she said, yeah, sure. And he's like, so yeah, talks to his little sister about it. And here's the thing about the small children, the primary school kids. They are the adults in this movie practically, because they basically talk to, his sister talks to Gregory as if, you know, the little sister was the mother. That's the funniest thing about it. But he goes to talk to her, and eventually Gregory goes on a date with the girl, but it turns out she wasn't available. So Gregory talks to this other girl, which was nice. And then he gets passed on to another girl, which was nice. Then he gets passed on to another girl, and then a final girl who who was really wanting him, and really enjoyed his company apparently. And yeah, it's good. It's really good. I really enjoyed it. It's really funny, surprisingly. Surprisingly, it's a comedy. But it's really fun. It's really enjoyable, and if you like the 80s in Scotland, then this is for you, because it's really, really good. And it's just fantastic. 8 out of 10. Really good. Really good. Alright, so last but not least is Belfast. It is the most recent film. It is directed by Kenneth Branagh, who is, you know, a Northern Irish actor, director, very famous lad. And it's basically, Belfast is basically a semi-autobiography of his life during Northern Ireland just before the Troubles happened. Now, if you don't know what the Troubles are, it's basically the Northern Irish and Irish conflict, where basically Protestants, very angry Protestants, kicked Catholics out of Belfast and just Northern Ireland in general, and they just hated each other, Catholics and Protestants. And it's still a big problem, and just in Great Britain, especially here in Scotland today. But this tells the tale of his story. The main character is Buddy, based on Kenneth, and it's a really good story. I watched it with my granny actually, good fun. But it's basically just, you know, Kenneth Branagh, Buddy, going through his life. He lives with his mum, his big brother, and his dad, who goes off to work to England. And he visits his granny and granddad, you know. And it's just their life just before the big troubles started. But it's a really good film. It's really funny at points, actually. I like the bit where it's like Buddy, near the end of it, Buddy like steals, he was like put into a raid by accident by his by one of his friends, and he steals like a bottle, it was like bio parcel, and like he goes home with it, and he like his mum was like, where'd you find it? It's like, oh, I stole it, and he says it's biological because it says on the packaging. And there's a bit where he steals a packet of sweets by his friend as well, and the only thing that I stole was Turkish delights, and he hated them. So it's funny, but it's really tragic because it just depicts all the horribleness of what happened during the Troubles, and just how violent the Protestants were during this time, and how they just basically just battered all the Catholics in the street. It was horrific. It sounds horrific, and it's a really good film. It's really impactful, and I won't spoil it here. Go and watch it. It's on wherever you can pirate it. I don't care. Watch it as well. But it's such a good movie. I really enjoyed it, and my granny enjoyed it. She was here watching it with me, so we both enjoyed it. It was a good laugh. It was good fun, and it was dramatic as always, and it is a 9 out of 10. It has got a couple of Oscar nominations. I hope they win some of them. But there's this YouTuber who I semi-like, semi-don't like, who says, oh, I hate Belfast. I'm like, shut up! Anyway, Belfast. It's good. Hi all, thank you all for watching this beautiful video of mine. I hope you all enjoyed it. Press all the buttons down below, and I've also got something to tell you all. Me and my friend Adnan, Waterboss 10 vlogs and all that stuff, we have started a podcast. It's called The Station. I'll link it down in my bio. If you want to check that out, you can. But it was quite fun to make, and we've already done, we're doing a second one. We have done a second one. We've recorded it. But we just need to, put it in editing. But we enjoyed it. We enjoyed doing this, enjoyed doing the podcast, and it's fun. And I enjoyed making this video, and I hope you all enjoy this video as well. Me rambling on about how good these films are. And I hope to see you all very soon. Have a good day, and see ya. I'm also filming this on Valentine's, by the way, so, love you all, I don't like Valentine's Day that much, maybe because I'm alone,